Isaiah chapter 11. Then a shoot will come forth out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch will bear fruit out of his roots. The Ruach of Adonai will rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and insight, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and of the fear of Adonai. His delight will be in the fear of Adonai. He will not judge by what his eyes see, nor decide by what his ears hear, but with righteousness he will judge the poor, and decide with fairness for the poor of the land. He will strike the land with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he will slay the wicked. Also righteousness will be the belt around his loins, and faithfulness the belt around his waist. The wolf will dwell with the lamb, the leopard will lie down with the kid, the calf and the young lion and the yearling together, and the little child will lead them. The cow and the bear will graze, their young ones lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like an ox. A nursing child will play by a cobra's hole, and a weaned child will put his hand into a viper's den. They will not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of Adonai as the waters cover the sea. It will also come about in that day that the root of Jesse will stand as a banner for the peoples. The nations will seek for him, and his resting place will be glorious. It will also come about in that day that my Lord will again redeem, a second time with his hand, the remnant of his people who remain from Assyria, from Egypt, from Pathroth, from Cush, Elam, Shinar, Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. He will lift up a banner for the nations, and assemble the dispersed of Israel, and gather the scattered of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Ephraim's envy will end. Those hostile to Judah will be cut off. Ephraim will not be jealous of Judah, and Judah will not harass Ephraim. They will swoop down on the Philistine slope to the west. Together they will plunder the children of the east, laying their hands on Edom and Moab, the children of Ammon obeying them. Then Adonai will dry up the gulf of the Egyptian sea. He will wave his hand over the river with his scorching wind, and will strike it into 7 streams, and let men walk over in sandals. So there will be a highway for the remnant of his people who remain from Assyria, as there was before Israel in the day they came up out of the land of Egypt. Chapter 12. In that day you will say, I will give you thanks, Adonai, for though you were angry with me, your anger is turned away, and you comfort me. Behold, God is my salvation. I will trust and will not be afraid. For the Lord Adonai is my strength and my song. He also has become my salvation. With joy you will draw water from the wells of salvation. In that day you will say, give thanks to Adonai, proclaim his name, declare his works to the peoples, so they remember his exalted name. Sing to Adonai, for he has done gloriously. Let this be known in all the earth. Cry out and shout, inhabitant of Zion, for great in your midst is the Holy One of Israel. Chapter 13. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos saw. Lift up a banner on a bare mountain, raise a voice to them, wave a hand, so that they may enter the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my consecrated ones. Yes, I have called my mighty ones, my proud, exulting ones, for my fury. A sound of tumult in the mountains like that of many people, a sound of uproar of kingdoms, of nations gathered. Adonai Tzavaot is mustering the army for battle. They are coming from a far country, from the end of the heavens. Adonai and the weapons of his wrath to destroy the whole land. Wail, for the day of Adonai is near. It will come as destruction from Shaddai. Therefore all hands will fall limp, and every man's heart will melt. They will be terrified. Pain and anguish will take hold of them. They will writhe as a woman in labor. They will look aghast at one another, their faces aflame. Behold, the day of Adonai comes, cruel, full of wrath and fierce fury, to make the earth a desolation and destroy its sinners from it. For the stars of heaven and their constellations will not give their light. The rising sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. I will push the world for evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. I will put an end to the arrogance of the proud, and abase the insolence of tyrants. I will make peoples scarcer than gold, even than the pure gold of Ophir. Therefore I will make heaven tremble, and the earth will shake from its place at the wrath of Adonai Sabaoth, in the day of his fierce fury. It will be like a haunted gazelle, or like sheep with no one gathering. Each will return to his own people, each fleet will flee to his own country. Everyone found will be thrust through, everyone caught will fall by the sword. Their babes will be dashed in pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be plundered, and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up against them the Medes, who will not value silver and will take no delight in gold. Their bows will cut down the young men, with no pity on the fruit of the womb, nor will their eye spare children. So Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of Chaldean pride, will be just as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It will never be inhabited, nor will it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Nor will an Arab pitch a tent there, nor will shepherds let flocks lie there, but desert creatures will lie there. Their houses will be full of owls. Ostriches will dwell there. The goat demons will dance there. Hyenas will howl in their citados, and jackals in the pleasant palaces. Her time is near to come. Her days will not drag on long. Chapter 14. For Adonai will have compassion on Jacob, and will again choose Israel and settle them in their own land. The outsider will join himself with them and will cling to the house of Jacob. The peoples will take them and escort them to their place. The house of Israel will possess them in the land of Adonai as servants and handmaids. They will take their captors captive and rule over their oppressors. Now in the day when Adonai will give you rest from your sorrow and your turmoil, and from the hard service you were forced to do, you will take up this taunt against the king of Babylon and say, how the taskmaster has ceased, the raging oppressor, exactor of gold has ceased. Adonai has broken the rod of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers which struck the people in wrath with continual strokes, which ruled the nations in fury with relentless persecution. The whole earth is at rest and quiet. They break forth with ringing cry. Even the cypress trees rejoice over you, along with the cedars of Lebanon. Since you were laid low, no woodcutter comes up against us. Sheol from below is excited about you to meet you at your coming. He stirs up the dead spirits for you, even the chief ones of the earth. He makes all the kings of the nations rise up from their thrones. They all answer and say to you, even you have become as weak as us. Have you become like us? Your pomp is brought down to Sheol with the music of your harps. Maggots are spread out under you, and worms cover you. How you have fallen from heaven, O bright star, son of dawn! How you cut down to the earth, you who made the nations prostrate. You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of meeting in the uttermost parts of the north. I will ascend above the high places of the clouds. I will make myself like Elion. Yet you will be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest part of the pit. Those who see you will stare at you, reflecting on what has become of you. Is this the one who shook the earth, who made kingdoms tremble, who made the world a wilderness and destroyed its cities, who never opened the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, all of them, lie in glory, each in his own house. But you are cast out of your tomb as a discarded branch, garment of the slain, pierced with a sword, dumped into a stony pit. A corpse trodden underfoot, you will not join with them in burial. Because you ruined your land, you slaughtered your own people. The offspring of evildoers will never be named. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, so they would not rise up and possess the land, or fill the face of the earth with cities. For I will rise up against them. It is the declaration of Adonai Tzavaot, and I will cut off from Babylon name and remnant, offshoot and offspring, declares Adonai. I will also take it a possession for the porcupine, with marshes of water. I will sweep it with the broom of destruction. It is a declaration of Adonai Tzavaot. Adonai Tzavaot has sworn, saying, surely as I thought it, so it will be. As I have purposed, so it will stand. I will break Assyria in my land. On my mountains I will trample him. Then his yoke will be taken off them, his burden removed from their shoulder. This is the purpose planned for the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out over all the nations. For Adonai Tzavaot has purposed, so who will annul it? Since his hand is stretched out, who will turn it back? In the ear of King Ahaz died came this burden. Do not rejoice, all you of Philistia, that the rod that struck you is broken. For from the serpent's root comes a viper, and its fruit will be flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor will feed, and the needy will lie down in safety. I will kill your root with famine, and your survivors will be slain. Wail, O gate, cry, O city, melt away, all you Philistia, for smoke is coming from the north, and there is no straggler in its ranks. What will they answer the messengers of the nation? For Adonai has founded Zion, and the afflicted of his people will find refuge in her. Chapter 15. The burden of Moab. For in the night that Ar is devastated, Moab is ruined. For in the night that Kir is devastated, Moab is ruined. He has gone up to the shrine to Dibon, to the high places to weep. Moab wails over Nebo and Medeba. Every head is bald, every beard shaven. In their streets they wear sackcloth. On their housetops, in their plazas, everyone wails, weeping profusely. Heshbon and Elelah cry out. Their voice is heard as far as Jahaz. Therefore the soldiers of Moab cry aloud. His soul faints within him. My heart cries out for Moab. Her fugitives are as far as Zoar, as a 3-year-old heifer. For by the ascent of Luhith they go up with weeping. For on the way of Horonaim they raise a cry of distress. The waters of Nimrim are desolate. The grass is withered away. The new grass withers. There is nothing green. Therefore the riches they had gotten and whatever they have stored, they carry over the wadi of willows. For the cry has gone around the borders of Moab, the wailing of Eglam, and the wailing to Beer Elim. For the waters of Dimon are full of blood, but I will bring on Dimon even more, a lion for those encamping from Moab, and for those remaining in the land. Chapter 16. Send lambs to the ruler of the land from Selah in the desert to the mountain of the daughter of Zion, for like fluttering birds scattered from a nest, so will the daughters of Moab be at the fords of Arnon. Give counsel, execute justice, cast your shadow like night at noonday. Hide the refugees, do not betray the fugitive. Let my refugees stay with you. Be for Moab a hiding place from the face of the destroyer, for the extortion is at an end. Devastation ceases, oppressors are gone from the land. The throne will be established in mercy. The one will sit on it in truth, in the tent of David, one who seeks justice and is ready for righteousness. We have heard of the pride of Moab. Very proud is he of his haughtiness, his arrogance, his insolence, and his dishonest boasting. Therefore Moab will wail for Moab. Everyone will wail, for the sweet cakes of Kir Hareseth will be, you will moan, utterly stricken, for the fields of Heshbon have withered, as well as the vine of Sibmah. Rulers of nations have trampled the choice of clusters that reached as far as Jazer and into the desert. Its branches spread out and crossed to the sea. Therefore I will weep bitterly for Jazer, for the vine of Sibmah. I will drench you with my tears, O Heshbon and Elelah. For on your summer and your harvest the battle cry has fallen. Gladness and joy are taken away from the fruitful field. In the vineyards, no singing for joy, no happy shouting, no treading wine in the presses. I have made the shouting stop. Therefore my heart moans for Moab like a lyre, and my inward part for Kir Heres. So it will be when Moab is weary upon the high places and comes to his sanctuary to pray. It will do him no good. This is the word of Adonai, spoke concerning Moab in the past. But now Moab has spoken, saying, within 3 years, as with the years of a hired worker, the glory of Moab will be disgraced. For all his large population, the remnant will be very small and feeble.